Do you ever feel burned by a situation? Imagine you're in the parking lot at the grocery store and you see a great spot and it's a cold day, so you're happy that the person is about to leave and you're just waiting for them to put their groceries and go, and all of a sudden, like a bat out of hell, somebody comes from the other direction and grabs your spot. And the more you think about it, the more you develop an attitude about this person. And the more you think about it, the more you feel the burn. How many times can you think about this situation? More than once. And it keeps going around and around in your head, and that burn feels stronger. Even though the person is long gone and maybe you don't know them, and this is the only thing you'll ever know about them, is that she's the bad person who took your parking spot. And it doesn't mean we always think about it, but when we do think about it, we see the same character in our story going around and around and around, and every time she's a bad person. This is an image we have in our head. The hope is that over time we get to see that this is a story and that we're the creator of this story. And over time you may keep the story as something funny and interesting and an example of human nature, but its impact on you fades. And maybe the next time you won't be fooled again in the same way. You'll find a new way to be fooled.
Okay, Varun.
So we've just watched that video about waiting for a parking spot and having somebody nip in and take your parking spot. At what point in this process does that parking spot in your mind appear to be yours?
When you start thinking like that. That somebody took my parking spot.
Yeah. So
you claim entitlement and ownership of it. Who do we think we are?
Well, ahead of time you claim it too, right? Because somebody's still in that spot and you've got your signal light on and you're waiting.
Yes.
It's when the other car drives up.
Well, no, but even before that other car drives up, you've already claimed that spot as yours.
Yes.
You've got your signal light on, you're looking around and kind of like, yeah, that one's mine. And so it becomes yours when you put your mind on it.
Yeah.
That's why you put your attention there.
Yeah, and the attention isn't on the parking spot, the attention is on the my.
Yes.
Okay? It's the
entitlement, yes.
Well, and that's the entitlement, is the sense of my.
Yes.
So now, the first time that happens, that this person took your spot, then there's a kind of burn to that. Right? Because it's an actual.
How could they?
How could they? And what the hell? And
How dare they?
how dare they?
And you're going through a grieving process.
Sure, about something that was never yours in the first place.
Yes.
But this is loss, and
Yes.
it's bad,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And it's their fault also.
Of course.
So this whole line happens. So now, suppose you don't get that parking spot, but you get another parking spot, and you go home, and somebody in your house says, "Oh, you look a bit ticked off. What's going on?"
Trigger.
Now, when you tell that story, will this character be in it?
Oh, yeah.
Right? When you tell the story, this character's the central villain in your narrative.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but now if you're back in your own home, is this person, did they follow you home?
In your mind, they can.
Well, so then, but is this the story you tell?
You embellish it a bit.
No, but I'm saying that, do you tell the story that, yeah, something happened when I was there, and I noticed that I'm still now dealing with my emotional reaction? Or do you just tell the story of like, man, it's a mean person, they just did this, right?
Tell the story.
You tell the story. How come? Because we're storytellers. And from the time you were a little kid, Mommy, tell me a story, read me a story.
Yeah.
Right? So, but what you're actually dealing with is not this and this, right? Because this that situation is over, and this person's, who knows where they are, somewhere else. So what you're actually dealing with is not this. Is it possible that this thought could come around again?
Yeah. You don't
So-
let it go.
You're going to be there.
So when it comes around again, here it is coming around again. Is it this thing you're reacting to, or this thing?
Partly this thing,
No, but that's gone.
but it's still in your mind.
Well, so this is in your mind. So the thing you're dealing with is in your mind, and it's this thing. It's not this thing. Eh?
Or not the memory of it.
Well, this is the memory of it,
Okay.
but it's not the thing.
Right.
The event is gone.
The event
Yeah.
is over, but the memory of it still lingers.
So, but you're not thinking, oh, I'm
Because
dealing
we're
with...
hanging on to it. We're carrying it.
And what you're carrying is the story.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
You're not thinking, oh, yeah, I
Because
just...
you haven't gotten even with them.
Well, something. There's...
Something's bothering you.
Something's bothering you, but the thing is, it's not this thing. If you
No.
think it's this thing, you're looking in the wrong place.
Because it's already gone.
So you're dealing not with this, but with this.
Yes.
Is it possible that this thing could come around yet again?
You can, yeah.
If it comes around again, are you dealing with the original thing? Are you dealing with your first perception? Or are you dealing with your now new embellishment?
Your new embellishment keeps on getting better
Well, and stronger and more convincing.
because we're not letting it go.
Well, and not knowing where the burn is.
And then,
Because every time you tell it, this character's in it.
and so
But this
that-
character's nowhere
so
to be
it's
found.
cemented in the grooves of the brain.
And the thing that's cemented in the grooves of the brain is the story.
Yes.
And so, Kevin, so this is what's happening when someone has so much road rage that they get out of their car
Sure,
and attack somebody.
sure, because they're holding something from some other moment. They
Yeah.
already started a road rage. They didn't just suddenly become that way in relation
Because
to you.
it never makes sense in the moment.
Sure, because
Yeah, what's going on?
because it's
Yeah.
larger than what their reaction is larger than what the situation called
Yes.
for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but now there's all of this thing. So how many
All
times
the
can this?
baggage.
How many times can this go around?
Infinite number.
And every time it goes around, what you're actually dealing with is your embellishment
Yes.
and
And you
embellishment.
put it harder and deeper into your system.
Yeah, and
it's
not
harder to get out.
well because you never tell the real story.
Yeah.
So how many times can you think about it?
Well, constantly.
So
Infinity.
here's an infinity number.
You need another bag of marbles.
Okay, by this stage, can you even see the initial burn?
No.
No.
No, it's become something else.
It's become something else, and the thing it's become is a story
Yeah.
Yeah.
embedded
Good
in your
story. A
consciousness.
good story to tell.
And because you don't see it as what it is, then you don't actually deal with what's happening. Because what's actually happening is out of your thought and emotion, you're suffering a kind of medical condition
Yes.
in which you're
Physiological.
physiological.
Yeah.
Eh? It's a
Your
medical
heart rate goes
condition.
up, yeah.
But you don't tell somebody that, oh yeah, I'm dealing with this medical condition.
No.
No.
That's not interesting.
Well, that's not the story. The
No.
story
Yeah.
is this one,
Yeah.
Yes.
That jerk.
who did that thing to me.
Yeah.
To me, yes, yes.
And how dare they?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
You
He
know, and
disrespected
if you tell certain friends, they'll go, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and get on board with that.
Yeah. And maybe they even know them.
Well, that, many. Yeah, they did that to me too.
Yes, exactly.
So these are
And
the,
times.
Camaraderie.
yeah. So these are the stories we tell ourselves, but there's an inaccuracy in the story. And due to the inaccuracy of the story, it's very difficult to get to the root cause.
Yes.
Because you're not thinking root cause, you're thinking story. And everybody you
Ah,
tell
that's
is
the-
they're
That's the
along.
ego, because we want to tell a good story.
Well, and it is a good story.
Yes.
And we
yeah.
don't want to. We don't want to be responsible.
Well, how can you be responsible that somebody did this to
To
you?
you,
Yeah.
yeah.
We allowed them to.
Well, you couldn't stop them.
But our reaction, I mean.
Well, you could have got out of your car, but your civilized veneer prevents that.
No, I mean instead of just and next, find another parking spot.
Well, yeah, guess that one wasn't mine to begin with.
Yeah.
Exactly. It wasn't meant for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
So what?
There are other parking
I
There
know.
spots.
wow, it's a big parking lot.
Yeah, who do you think I am that I think I need that parking spot?
I obviously need more exercise. I have to get the one further away.
Yes, exactly.
Clearly. What I would like to invite you to do now is there's a green bowl and a white bowl on the side table. I want you to put some things in the bowl and show each other one of the things from the bowl to the other person, but only show them one, and when you've shown them one, plus you've got other things in the bowl, then put the lid on and come back. So we're taking a short break.